My name is Aniket and I am from the Remix team. Remix ID. I hope some of you have been worked on that. So I am going to basically explain that how you can use the Remix for the hackathons. Okay, going further. Okay, just I would like to add that at the end of this session there will be a challenge where there will be some questions and they should be answered depending on the session flow or session slides. So they will require some of the optimized ETH, and you guys can scan this QR code or or open this URL, which can help you to get the required optimized ETH to perform the challenge, because that will be one contract interaction. So you can just open this link. It will open one HackMD document. You can put your address there, and you will get certain amount of optimized ETH in that address. Okay, so let's moving further. Okay, so we can see that how Remix can be useful when there are such hackathons like at India. So in the hackathons, there can be the teams which wants to learn and develop some things very fast, or like they are kickstarting a project, or like collaborating together within the team. Then there can be like they will be needing some importing of files, and then they can export some files for sharing it with somebody else online. And then there can be a chance that you are developing a project which is requiring you to deploy a particular contract on multiple chains. Then it can be that you are working with certain frameworks like Hardhat, Foundry, or this Truffle. So you can combine those frameworks and remix both. And at the end, there can be a way where you can just share one UI for your smart contract, and it can help maybe your judge for that your code is working on something. So let's moving on these things one by one. Okay, so this is the latest Remix ID home page. This is the first page you see when you just land on Remix ID. And you will see that Remix provides you certain default workspace with certain list of files so that you can just quickly start with your development. So there are some contracts, there are some JS files, there are some test files in Solidity and JS also. And if you are like very beginner and you are just starting the things with the Web3 world, you can just go to this Learn section where there is this Remix Basics, and you can just click on Get Started. It will take you to a plugin called Learneth. There you can basically check out the Remix Basics. There are multiple tutorials. You can go through them one by one. And apart from the Remix, there are other tutorials, so you can just check them in the Remix itself. There can be like Solidity beginner course, or like you can develop the ERC20 token or the one NFT. And then so I would just detail out that how this course work. If you will go inside a course, inside a Solidity beginner course, so what will happen? There is some description given for a particular concept. Like here on screen, you can see that there is a detail about that how you can use the enum in your smart contract. And then after giving that theoretical detail, there will be one particular assignment on the bottom of it, which will ask you to perform certain step on the Remix ID itself. And then it will basically require you to write some code. So you can just write that code and check your answer. So there is this button which basically helps you to check your answer is right or not. Otherwise, if you are just stuck and couldn't find any answer, you can just click on Show Answer. And if you are very, very new and you don't even have come across with the Remix ID before, so you are using a plugin, so you can always go through these plugin documentation here. You can see there is this caret icon, you can say, and then there is this documentation link. So you can just go to that documentation and you can check that how you can use that plugin. Also, if there is a green check mark on the top of a Remix plugin, it means that Remix maintains this plugin. Remix is like maintaining the code of it, and they are doing everything here and there. It is not an external plugin or developed by any third party. So this is a plugin maintained by Remix. Moving further, if you are just starting with a project, so you can see on the home tab of Remix, there is this section which says Get Started Project Templates. So there are particular templates. You can see here there are blank template, and then this default Remix template. There is this ERC20 template and ERC721 templates. So you can just quickly click on one of the card, and it will just load a set of files for you along with the contract. So here I am showing the example for ERC20. So it will just add a mytoken.sol contract which will be having the ERC20 code. And then there will be like scripts which can help you to deploy that contract. And there is this test file, which is basically containing the test cases in a Solidity file itself. Moving further, so this was one way that you can just create a workspace which is already there. But if you just want to customize your templates, your workspace templates, so you can just use these icons here. There is this plus icon, and then this create workspace icon will also open if you will click on this hamburger. So if you will click any of those options, there will be this create workspace modal. And if you will choose a template from OpenJaplin category, so for now, this customization is available for the OpenJaplin only. So you just select a template from OpenJaplin, and then there will be these options where you can just customize your templates. So you can make your token mintable, burnable, or pausable, which are very common use cases now. And then you can also decide if your contract can be upgradable or not. So you can just select one type of contract upgradability here. And you can further click on OK, and yeah, here you can select the option, and this will just load the updated contract code in your workspace. Okay, then during a hackathon, you need to work within a team. So you may be collaborating on a project. So Remix supports some of the Git operations within the browser itself. So let's talk about the cloning. So you can just quickly click on this hamburger icon, and there will be this clone option which you can click on, and then there will be this modal where you can just put your GitHub repository link, and it will just quickly load all the files from that repository in the Remix File Explorer plugin. So this is very quick. You can use it anytime during the hackathon. Coming to okay, so when you are working with the Git, you are definitely working with lots of the branches. So that is also provided within the Remix. You will see this Git branch section on the bottom of File Explorer plugin on the Remix. And then once you click on it, it will show all of your branches which are there on your Git repository. So you can just quickly switch between them. These were the some initial operations, and then if you are looking for more elaborative options like pushing and pulling some repo, so there is this dgit plugin which is there on the Remix ID itself, and it allows you to do the GitHub operations in the browser itself. So there are some dedicated cards here you can see, and you can expand one of the card according to your use case. You will see that there is this GitHub setting. So basically, if you want to perform something with your Git repository, you have to provide certain GitHub credential which are there only in your browser itself. So you can just go to change the settings, and then you will see this GitHub access token section on the settings section of Remix ID. There you can just provide your username and email, and at some places you will require a token also. So those description is given here already. You can just read out that how you can create one GIST token. Okay, further, when you have just cloned a project and you have activated the dgit plugin, so as soon as you will update a file, you will see that I have added one comment here. So those changes or the changed files list will appear on the dgit plugin. And if you want to just check anytime that what is changed in that particular file, you can just click on that particular file name, and it will show you the side by side difference that what is changed in your file, and that is completely online on the browser remix id. Further, you can just add your files. You can see these plus icons here, so you can just add those files, and then you can just go to the commit section and provide a commit message. I have provided the test commit message, and you can just commit those files. Then there is this last option where you can just update your GitHub repository online. So you can just select a remote branch and click on push button. So this will be updated. Okay, apart from the Git, if you are working on a project and you are just looking to import any file in your existing project, so Remix provides that also. On the home tab, there is this open file button, which basically allows you to upload a file from your local computer or local device. Further, if you want to import some files from some of the online resources, there is this GitHub, GIST, IPFS, and HTTPS options. You can click one of them, and you can provide the link, online link of that file, and that file will be loaded in your workspace. If you don't want to load the files in the workspace and just want to use in your code files, so you can just write these import statements. So first import statement is for the npm modules. This is very common throughout the frameworks. And then if you are just looking to pick up file from the GitHub, so you can just put the complete URL of GitHub, and it will just pick that file also. And then there is this common way of importing the relative files. You have also the options to export a file as a GIST, which can help you to show that file via one URL. So whenever you go to your workspace, you can just right click on a file name, and there is this option publish file to GIST. And once you will click on it, it will just ask that you are going to publish it publicly. And once you confirm it, it will just publish that file on the GIST, and then it will give you this URL. You can just quickly open and check out that if it is properly published or not. And then there is this GitHub icon you can see on the top of your workspace files, which basically allows you to export the complete project as the GIST URL. So it will basically export all the files within the contracts folder, scripts, and test. All the files from those directories will be exported on the GIST, and you will get that particular link where you can just share those files with others. Okay, coming to this compile contract and running a script. So there is this traditional way. If you have worked with the Remix before, so you can just see that there is this common button using which you can just compile the contract. And for running a JS or TS script, you can just right click on a script name, and you can just click on the run. So that script will be running. So Remix support the JS and TS both the scripts now. And then there is this recent addition. There is this green play button. You see, so if you have selected a Solidity file, so you can use this green play button to compile that file quickly. And if you have selected the TS or JS file in your editor, so this same particular play button will help you to run that script. So you don't need to switch between the plugins. You can just quickly click on this play button on the editor. And then there is another way to just quickly compile and run the script. So basically you can use this if you want to attach a script execution with a contract compilation. So what will happen that you will write this custom dev run script netspec tag, and you will provide one script path here. And what will happen that as soon as you will compile this storage.sol contract, it will run this script also. So you can just click on compile and run a script, or you can just click the control shift as keyboard shortcut. So you can just quickly edit your file, and then you can just click control shift s, so it will just compile that file and will run that script. So a script can have the logic to deploy a contract, to run the JS test cases, or even verifying a contract on the Etherscan. So that is also possible by writing a script on the Remix. So you can just quickly make the changes in your file and then run the JS script. Okay, then there is another way where you can just share your state of transactions with others. So Remix provides this transaction recorder here. So if you are working on a project and you are like performing 10 steps, and then you want that your teammate should be on the same level to test out some quick things, so you can just go to this transaction recorder section and you will click on save. So it will basically save a scenario file. Scenario is basically mentioning all of the transaction that you have performed. You can save that file and you can share that with your teammate. And your teammate will open that file on the Remix, and he or she can just click on this run button here, and he or she will get the same list of transactions executed automatically on that particular contract. So you don't need even that particular contract, or you don't need to compile that contract. You just need this scenario file, and all the transaction will run in the same sequence here. And you will get this log of running the transactions in the Remix terminal. Okay, coming to this part where you are working with some framework which is like Hard Hat, Truffle, or Foundry. So Remix helps with that also. So there is this npm module which is Remix D. It helps you to connect a project from your local computer to on-browser Remix IDE. So you can just go to your project directory on your local computer and you can just run the Remix D command, and it will start basically a WebSocket channel. And then you can go to Remix IDE, you can click on connect to localhost. It will show some instructions and you can click on connect, and it will load that project from your local device. This will be loaded under the workspace localhost, so that you can always remember that you're working with your localhost and not with the workspaces which are online on the Remix. And then suppose you are working with Hard Hat framework and you have connected your Hard Hat project with the Remix IDE. So when you will go to the Solidity compiler, you will see this new option of enable Hard Hat compilation. So what it will do, it will basically compile the contract on the Remix, and for the Hard Hat also, like when you run the npx Hard Hat compile command, it will do that automatically as soon as you click on this checkbox. And this compilation will take place using the configuration which is set in this Solidity compiler plugin itself. And then you can just go from Remix compilation result and from Hard Hat compilation result. There is this refresh icon. So anytime you click on this refresh icon, it will load the compilation result from your local Hard Hat project. And then there are these specific providers for the frameworks. So all the frameworks provide certain local chain, and you can use these providers to connect with those chains. You need to provide these JSON RPC endpoint, and you can see that this Foundry provider has loaded these addresses here. Okay, so Remix also provides some L2 providers. So you can use the Optimism provider or the Arbitrum provider, or if you want to use any custom network, so you can just click on this plug icon. It will take you to the chainlist.org website where you can add the other network, and you can just connect with them using the Remix ID. Okay, so there are some more editor features which are provided by Remix ID. One is that if you have just messed up your code and you just want to quickly format that, so you can just right click and click on this format code. There is this keyboard shortcut also which you can use. Remix provide the auto complete when you just type. So if you just write import, you will get the option of open Japlane, and as soon as you will type the path, you will get the other options. And this feature basically provides you the inline gas estimates here. So as soon as you write some code, you get the gas estimates. And if you will close all the tabs in the Remix ID, you will get these keyboard shortcuts. And there are some random features that Remix support, the console.log. And then you can load a contract from GitHub to Remix just by changing this URL. So you can see just that I have just updated github.com to remix.ethereum.org, and it has been loaded here. You can just quickly use the library methods with the Remix ID. So there are Web3 and Ethers and other Remix libraries which you can use. So here I have shown this method which can help you to quickly convert one string to bytes 32. And then if you are done with your smart contract, you can just quickly go to one-click dApp plugin. You can select your contract here. Contract should be compiled and deployed. And then you can provide this deployed address. You can click on generate dApp. It will basically create one unique link for you, which you can share with anyone you want to allow the interaction with your contract. So if you will just open this, it will open this interface where you can just read and write the contract methods. Okay, so that is it for the workshop. Is there any query from anyone? Okay, so there is a quick remix challenge if you want to perform. So you can just open this link, and there will be the 4 questions which you can answer, and then you can create a zero knowledge proof using that. So as soon as you open this link, you will get all the instructions there that how you can perform that challenge. I can try to open it here also. So here you will see these 4 questions. You can find their answers, and then you can go through these steps which are described during the workshop. So you can just clone this repo in the Remix ID itself. I can show you it directly on the GitHub. And then you need to go to this script, this compute.js. This script will basically help you to compute the zero knowledge proof. So you can go to this compute. Please clone it within the Remix ID because you need to perform some contract interaction. So you will clone it on your Remix ID, and then we'll open this file, and then you will go to line number 52, where you need to update this nullifier value to some random value. This should be unique for you. And then you can put the answer of those questions within the quotes here on the line number 54, 55, 56, and 57. So these answers are case insensitive. So you can just put the answers here. And then you can run the script in the Remix ID. As it has been explained, just click on the just make a right click on the file name, and you can just, okay, let me just do it with you. So you can open the Remix ID, you can go to clone. Okay, come on, that is fine. Wow. Okay, it is taking time for me. Usually it is not like that. Okay, seems hanged a bit. Okay, so it is cloned here, and then you can go to scripts, you can go to compute, and here you can just update this value to any random value, and you can put your answers here within the codes. Like, so here are the questions in the hackmd file. What is the name of the plugin that allows the get operations? And then this one is about the netspec tag, and then this is about that the workspace name when you connect a project using remixd, and then this one is one non-technical question. So you can just put the answer of those 4 questions here one by one, and click. You can just right click and run it. So if you will put the right answer, only then it will run. Otherwise, it will just fail. So if I just try to do something like that, it will show you the logs here on successful completion. Yeah, so I haven't put the right answer, so here it is showing me this error. So you need to put the right answers, and once you will put the right answer and run that script, it will basically create this file in your workspace, which is a zero knowledge proof. And then once you submit that proof, so it is clear that you know the answers, but you don't need to disclose the answers. And then you can just go to this plugin and connect to optimism provider. It will require some optimism eth, so if you don't have them, so just go to this link and drop your Ethereum address. You will get some optimism eth to perform the transaction, and then you can just run this script. This script will basically submit your zero knowledge proof, and as soon as this will be successful, you will get one NFT minted like this. It will be looking like this, which is like limited for the ETH India. And you can see always these remix reward NFTs here on the remix reward platform. So there are more other people, there are other NFTs which are distributed. So these are just the remixers. They may take some time to load. So you can get one of these NFTs. Does anybody need any help to execute this challenge? Okay. You can just go here and select this optimism provider. I don't have MetaMask here, so this will not work for me. Okay, then I think this is it. So here are the remix links, and we are most frequent We just provide most frequent responses on the Gitter. So you can just put your queries there, and this challenge will be open for some time. So you can just try out in some time. So this HackMD document is visible out there. Okay, thanks for your time.